Hello guys, my name is Sharmin and today in this video we will be looking at pseudo elements in CSS. Okay, so if you guys don't know what pseudo elements are, then they are the before and after selectors that you might have seen in many CSS code files. Okay, and why are they called pseudo elements? Now, why pseudo? It's because they don't really exist in your HTML document, right? You add those elements via your CSS using the content property. So yeah, that's why they are called pseudo, because they don't actually exist in your HTML document, or they don't change anything in your HTML document. All right, so yeah, these are pseudo elements. So without wasting time, let's actually do it practically and see what exactly pseudo elements are and how you can use them. Okay, so first I'll be explaining to you guys what exactly pseudo elements are and how you can use them, and then these are the three examples that we'll be looking at, okay, once we know what pseudo elements are. Alright, so yeah, let's start with learning what pseudo elements are first. Okay, so here I have one HTML file and one CSS file, nothing fancy over here, it's just the normal boilerplate code. Alright, so here I just have given the body margin 0 and padding 0, and we just have a div over here, and this is just our normal h1. Okay, so now how can we use before and after? So let's start with the h1. This is okay, and then for example you want to write something after this is okay, but you don't want to write it in your HTML document. So I'll be showing you how you can use before and after to add content, okay, before or after your element. Okay, so here for example we say before, what this line will do is, this is how you add your before selector. Okay, you use 2 colons. In the past 1 colon used to be enough, but after the CSS3 specifications it's a good practice to use 2 colons. All right, so yeah, okay, to add something before the element h1 over here, you can use the before selector. Okay, so let's add the content property. This is what is required, that is the content property, to add anything that you want before or after. Okay, if you don't call content, then whatever you do inside of your before or after, that won't be visible. Okay, so content is very important over here. So inside the content you can write, for example, hey, save this, and let's refresh. Can you see, is there, okay, let me just zoom so that it is more clear to you guys. Okay, so can you see we haven't written anything here before this is, right? Nothing in our HTML document, but still we see a hey over here, right, before this. Can you see we cannot even select it? We can only select this is, we cannot select this, right, because it's a pseudo element. All right, so it is coming from over here, okay, the before selector. And for example, if we want to add something after it, we can say h1 after, and similarly in the content we can say this is a pseudo element. Okay, and when you save and you refresh, can you see this is a pseudo element? Again, you cannot select this because it's a pseudo element, it doesn't actually exist in your HTML document. This is coming over here via your CSS. Alright, so this is pretty much it. This is what your before and after does. It adds an element after and before your element in HTML. Alright, pseudo elements actually. You might think that just adding content, what's the use of doing this? This you can do directly via your HTML, right? So yeah, let's look at these 3 examples so that you will understand why actually we use before and after. These are some examples to understand the practical use of before and after selector. Okay, so now let's erase this before, and in your h1, okay, let's remove this h1 as well, and here let's add our label for name, for example. Okay, let's get this CSS over here so that things are clear. Okay, so here we have a label which says name, when you save and you refresh, can you see the label name over here, right? So yeah, let's give it a display of flex. I'm doing this just so that you can see the things that I'm writing clearly. Alright, justify content center and align items also center, and let the font size of everything be 30 pixels. Okay, so that you can see the things clearly. Okay, so now what we will be doing here is our first example here. We want an asterisk, okay, after that, which is red in color. Alright, so to do this, what we can do is, we have our label element over here, right? So we can use that label element here, and we can add an after to that, and inside of the content, in place of adding some text, we can add an asterisk, and when you refresh, can you see you get it over there? And from here you can also give it a color of, for example, red. Can you see the color also changed, right? Can you see the color over here? It's red. So it is as simple as that. In your before and after, you can also give other properties like color, background color, width, height, and all those different things. Alright, now this was very simple. You just had to give color to your content, right? Now the second example over here. Okay, if you guys understood what before and after is, I think you should pause the video and give that example a try. Just write your name, and without using an other div, okay, in your HTML document, try to get this green bar using before in CSS. Okay, so yeah, pause the video and try if you can, and if you succeed, well and good, and if you don't, you can come back and watch the solution. Okay, so let's go through the solution. What we can do here is, let's comment this label for now, and in our H1 let's write my name. You can write your name. We can refresh. Okay, so let it be 100%. Alright, and let's remove this after. Alright, so this is my name. Now we want that green color bar without using any div. So what we can do is, we can call that div inside before. So how can we do that is H1, and then inside the before of H1, let's give it some content, and this content we can keep it empty. Alright, it is not necessary to write something or the other inside the content. Like, it is not necessary to mention text inside the content. Even if you keep it empty, it's okay, but it is necessary to mention content. Okay, so I'll show you that later on. So what we can do now is, we want a green color bar, right? So for example, here we can give it a height of 10 pixels. For example, we can give it a width of 100%. Okay, we are just trying. All right, width of 100%, and a background color of, okay, let's copy the color from here only. Okay, this is our color. So yeah, now when we refresh, can you see there is no change right now? Why is that? That is because we haven't given it a position property. Okay, so we can give it a position of absolute, and when you refresh, can you see that bar on the top, right? Can you see the bar? Okay, so we don't want it to look like that, right? We want it to be placed just behind our name, okay, covering it half, right? So for that, what we can do is, the element that we are giving before to, for example, this is your H1, right? You are giving a before to your H1, so that element, your H1, give it a position of relative, so that it becomes easy for us to set the content, right? You saw when I gave it a relative and refreshed, it's just taking the entire space over here, it's not going outside, right? So yeah, and here we can increase its height to, for example, 50 pixels. Can you see? Or for example, maybe 60 pixels, that would be good, right? 60 pixels, you can see it's coming half the way down, and now you can bring your h1 in front, right? So z index to your h1 can be, for example, 10. Okay, so let's give this also a z index of, for example, 0. Okay, this should work. Position relative, it has a z index of 2. Let's inspect and see what the problem is over here. Okay, so yeah, -1, and let just this not be 0. Okay, so to send this bar behind, we just had to give it a z index of -1. Alright, so I hope you guys understood how this just happened. Yeah, it might be a bit, it's not difficult, it's an easy concept. You just need to understand how it actually works. What we did over here, okay, let's go through this example once more. Let me explain it to you what exactly is happening over here. What we did is, first we mentioned our name in the h1 element, alright, on our HTML page, and then we come to the CSS, we give the h1 a position of relative, okay, and in the before of our h1 what we are calling is content. Okay, I just told you that if you don't mention content over here, can you see, you cannot see anything. So that's the reason mentioning content is very, very important whenever you are using these pseudo elements. Alright, so you call the content, alright, you give it a height and a width, right, and then you give it a background color, and this is the most important thing, you give it a position of absolute, or else you won't be able to see your element. Alright, and when you're giving this element a position of absolute, then the element on which you are using before the element, that element will be given a position of relative, so that it becomes easier for you to set the content in your before, relative to your main element. Alright, and you gave it a z index of -1 just because you wanted it to be behind the main element. Alright, so yeah, is a practical example of using pseudo elements, right? And if you didn't have pseudo elements, how would you do this? Before or after your h1, you might have made a div and given it a height and then width of 100%, and you might have had to give an extra div around it to set it up, and it might just move when your screen would get small or big. Right here, can you see, when I make the screen small, it won't move from its place, it will remain where it is, right? It's not moving. So that's a plus point over here, it remains where it is, and it becomes easy for you, right, to set up few things. Now the third example here is an interesting one. What we will be doing here is, we need a square, okay, and these two, can you see, these two are different divs, right? Yeah, of course you can do this by having a parent div, and inside of that div you can have two more divs which has a background color and a height and width, and they are white in color, and then you can just set them using absolute. But the same thing we will be doing using before and after, okay, so that you guys get more practice. So this was a good example. So if you have really understood how before and after works using this example, then I think you should be able to do this one. Okay, if your concept is clear with position, then absolutely you can do this if you have understood this. So yeah, pause the video, go right now and try it, and if you manage to do this, meaning you understood, okay, and if you don't, I suggest watch the video again from the start and especially understand this example, so that you understand it properly. Okay, so yeah, pause the video, go try, and then come back. All right, just waiting for you guys to complete the challenge and come back. And if you guys don't understand, it's absolutely okay, come back, I will show it to you how to do it. All right, okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let's comment this second example over here, and this is our div. Okay, I have a div with a class of pink. So what we'll be doing is, here is we will select the class pink, right, using the dot selector which we use for class. Right, now what we will be doing is, let's give it a height of 200 pixels, a width of 200 pixels, and a background color of pink, right? Okay, let's pick the color from here. Okay, and can you see we have a square, right? So now what we can do is, we can call a one before and one after. All right, so to call a before over here, let's give it a content. Okay, very important. Then we go for height. Let's give it a height of, for example, 50 pixels, a width of 50 pixels. All right, a position of absolute, and yeah, a background color of white. Refresh. Can you see? Now it's because of the flex that's happening. Let me just remove these flex properties and refresh. Okay, so can you see that element is fixed, right? It's on the top right over here, what we wanted. Right, now the second element, that we can call that in after. So yeah, what do you think, if we copy this and paste it in the after, will it work? What do you guys think? Mention in the comments below, will it work or not? Okay, so let's try after, and you refresh. Do you see the element anywhere? But it's there. Let's see in the inspect, you will understand where it is. When you inspect this, when you open this, can you see we have an after and before, both are overlapping each other, right? Now why is this happening? Can you guys guess and mention in the comments why is this happening? Yeah, that's because of the position. If you guessed it, then yeah, you need to give it a position of right 0 and bottom 0. Can you see no change? Even now there is no change. The element should be there over here, right? But it's still not, you cannot still see it. Now why that? Okay, guess the problem and try to solve it by your own. Okay, so why is that happening? It's because we haven't given this a position of relative, our main div, right? Okay, so can you see it's back in its place? Now what was happening before this is, when we didn't give it a position of relative, the div, the white color div, was going relative to the entire page, right? So it was somewhere over here, okay, on the right corner of your entire page. So you might have understood it if your concepts with position in CSS are really strong, but if they are not, then let me just show you. If this is not position relative, and in the after we call a black color div, can you see where is it? It's in the corner over here, right? And when we give it a position of relative, it will come relative to its parent element. All right, so not parent element over here, it's to the element whose pseudo element you are creating, right? So yeah, let's bring this back to normal, to the white color background. And yeah, this is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys understood the topic, then do not forget to subscribe and leave a like. It helps me to grow. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye guys, let's meet in the next video.